Hey everybody, welcome to Kiki Loves Nigeria. Hey, I know it has been like a minute, but I had to do some things. I had to take care of some business, and I had to learn some things. Y'all know I got to make sure my lipstick is right. So, mm, hold on, y'all. It done smeared. Okay, I cannot stand smeared lipstick. So let me know if you can hear me. Let me go to the comment section. Okay. So hey, welcome to Kiki Loves Nigeria. I know it's been a minute, but I'm still in it. Hey. So look, for those who don't know me, let me take this time to introduce myself. My name is Kiki Loves Nigeria. I am from Dayton, Ohio, and I am a skilled qualitative researcher. And what a qualitative researcher does, that person takes measurements of things that cannot be counted with numbers. Like they're not numbers, they're not things you can count with numbers. So you have to analyze those things, okay? Like words, you have to analyze those words and you have to group them. So that's what a qualitative researcher does. And that's what I do, okay? When did I start doing qualitative research? I've been doing qualitative research since I'll say since 2000. So it's been a long time, a long time. And again, for those who don't know, I'm from Dayton, Ohio, and I've been conducting this research again for a this type of research for a long, long time. So, what we're going to talk about tonight, we are going to talk about my latest research project, which was requested by the Repat community. And I've learned through the years to listen to the public because the public knows what they're talking about. Okay, let me get something to drink. Okay, so this new research topic, like I said, was requested by the public. If you can't hear me, if I sound funny, please let me know. And the name of this new research project is Who Are the Land Scammers in the Gambia? Okay, because that's what you guys want to know. You guys want to know who who really are the land scammers, not who are the unprofessional people, because we don't care about that. We want to know, you guys want to know, who are the land scammers, okay? So before I could just jump right into who are the land scammers, because I just didn't want to be like everybody else, I wanted to do it the right way. So I did what we call, when we do research, it's called a literature review. Now, what you do when you do a literature review, you just review the literature. You go and you look and see what are people, what are other researchers, what are newspapers, what are primary sources saying about this topic. So that was the first thing I did. And this is what we're going to talk about tonight. That's when I ran into all of this US foreign policy. Because, like I said before, things don't just happen. That's one thing I've learned by studying the government and by working for the government in America and also in Cameroon, West Africa, that nothing happens by chance. Okay. So that was why I said in the other video when I introduced the topic, the land scammers, like, is this just a common occurrence or are there forces at play? And yes, there are indeed forces at play. All of this repat movement to the Gambia, all of this land scamming that's going on in the Gambia, yes, indeed, there are forces at play. But these forces, it's not their intent. It was not their intent to have this scamming going on. That was not the intent of these policies. That was not the intent of all this encouragement to go to the Gambia. This scamming is just comes from what people do. You know, people who are just take advantage of every situation the exploiters by nature. It's just what they do. So what are we going to talk about? What we're going to research is we're going to look into who really are the land scammers, okay, in the Gambia. We're going to see why this land scamming is trending and why it's so popular in the Gambia. Because it's really just, I mean, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's to the point from the research I was doing, it's not just people on YouTube, you guys. There are really businesses over there. I mean, people think these are reputable businesses, but these businesses have been accused of by customers of scamming them. And I mean, these are newspaper articles who are reporting this, okay? So let me drink some more water. So this story went off YouTube because this story is so big. It's much bigger than YouTube, okay? This is a big, big, big problem, okay? So we also wanted to know where in the Gambia is this going on? Is it going on throughout the Gambia, or is it just going on in certain areas? And just as I suspected, it's going on in certain areas, okay? Well, according to the research, it's going on in certain areas, okay? We're going to look at also what is the purpose of the land scamming? Is it just to get money? Is it just to, stop people from coming to the Gambia? I mean, what truly is the purpose of all of this land scamming? And it's not, you'll be surprised because they're not just land scamming us, African Americans. They're not just land scamming UK people. They're not just land scamming Jamaican people. They're land scamming each other. What they're doing to each other, Lord have mercy. What I was hearing, what I was reading, what I was seeing from these videos, it's unbelievable. These people have no conscience who do this. They have no conscience, okay? So when people say the government, they're blaming the government, okay, for this going on. But how do you hold the government accountable for someone lacking morality? That's something, I'm not sure, how do you do that? How do you hold the government accountable for people just being selfish and greedy? Because that's pretty much what it comes down to. So we're going to really see what's the purpose and who's being impacted by this land scamming. Who's targeted? Like I just said, it's not just us. I thought it was just going to be African Americans. I thought, oh, it's just happening. Oh, no. Mm-hmm. This is an equal opportunity exploiter. Yes. Mm-hmm. That's why I said it's really sad. It's really sad. So again, our key terms are going to be scammers, land scammers, repat community, land sellers, and our methodology is going to be a case study, a quantitative analysis of the Gambia. And our sources will be government policies from the US and from the Gambia. We're going to look at YouTube videos, we're going to look at comments, and we're also going to look at interviews and speeches. That was another thing, you guys, that played a humongous role in this repat movement was a speech. And I'm going to ask you guys, do you guys know who made this speech? Does anybody watching know who made this speech? Okay. This speech encouraged this repat movement. Okay. It helped it take off. So let's see. Again, we talked about what our sources were going to be. Let me see. Okay, so this method, like I said, it's really time intensive, okay? So I have to collect the data, I have to read the data, I have to analyze the data, and then I got to present it to you guys. So if it seems like I'm going slower than before, I am, because it's a lot more. And the information on this topic is extremely complex, extremely complex. So a lot of times I have to read it over and over and over again and just break it down in like little bitty pieces to truly understand what in the world are they saying and what in the world are they talking about. So when I have to do that, it takes me much longer, much longer than it did with that other set of videos. Okay. So let me see. Do we have any questions so far? So let me look. We're going to see who this is. This is, hello, this person. Let me put my glasses on. I don't want to mess up your name. I'm finally admitting that I need these glasses. Okay. Oh, for Black Righteous Folks Home. It says get them. Oh, yeah. Y'all know that's what we do. Y'all just point me in the right direction. Black sits fuzzy. Well, you know what? This is what I got to say about them, y'all. You know, of course, I had to research them to even do this. But just looking at this lady's behavior, I mean, I know when I was playing with Dusty, I'm sorry, I'm not going to call her that no more. When I was playing with Shantae, I was just playing. You know, I was just playing for real. I was just acting silly. I was playing. Okay. I don't really act like that. You know, I don't. I just don't because I don't have to. I don't need to. So that was just me going back and forth with Shantae because, you know, Shantae, she get it. She's not taking it serious. Like I'm not taking it serious. It's not that serious to us because we know, you know, it's just whatever. Okay. But this woman act like that for real. The way she was acting worse than I was acting with Dusty. Daggone it, I'm sorry, with Shantae. The way I was acting with Shantae, this Blackson lady is 10 times worse. Okay. So, and she does that with everybody, anybody and everybody. So what I don't understand is why would a reputable person or a reputable business do business with her and you know her behavior and you know her reputation and you know how she talks. That has me puzzled. That has my mind blown. Just how unprofessional this lady is and how she's really an actress type, like a fake type. She becomes different people at different times. And if I know this just from doing this research, just starting this research, these business people, these power business people in the Gambia, I'm not quite sure why they would align themselves with anyone from Black Six. I'm not quite sure why they would do that, especially when they know all eyes is on the Gambia, because it is. Anywhere Americans are, anywhere our money is being spent, you better believe all eyes. Whenever the Gambia is mentioned, any country is mentioned in foreign policy, and we're being encouraged to invest there and go there, you know all eyes is on that country. You know that. There's a reason the United States is saying that. There's a reason the United States wants to be an all up in the mix in the Gambia. There's a reason for that. We don't do things willy-nilly. United States is very strategic at everything they do. Everything they do. So let's get back to this. So yeah, that's what I have to say about Black Six. Because the things I was seeing, I mean, just over and over again, this unprofessionalism, this not following through with contracts, this fuzziness here, this fuzziness there. And people still want to do business with this person. People still want to align themselves with this person. People still want to buy land from this person. So what can you do? You can do nothing. You can do nothing. But what you can do is not do business with that business that aligns themselves with that type of person, because that's what I would do. Because either you're not checking out people you align yourself with, which lets me know you're a careless business person, or either you don't care, or either you're that type of person. And that's not a person I would want to buy land from. That's not a person I would want to rent a house from. That's not a person I would definitely not want to buy a house from. Because people have all kind of housing issues in the Gambia. And it's hard to find a reputable company worth dealing with in the Gambia. So those who are aligning themselves with people who are on YouTube acting a fool, disrespecting anybody and everybody, you align yourself with that person, I think they need to be careful. I think they don't realize how big YouTube is. So let's finish. Let's see who's next. So that's all I have to say about her. We'll probably get to her when we get to her, but we're not going to really talk about her because it's really nothing to talk about. Do I think she's land scamming? I don't think she's, from what I was seeing, I don't think she's a land scammer. I think she's more of an unprofessional person. I think she's like an agent, but I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I'm sure she's gonna come up because she's on YouTube and she's a scam. I mean, she's on YouTube and she's selling land, or she promotes the selling of land, or she's an agent selling the promotion of land. I'm not quite sure what she does because, again, I gotta wipe my face. She changes her story every time she has a story. So it's really hard to say what's going on with her. So, but we'll get to her. Kiki, do you have bad news? Kiki, do you have new bad guys, or are you rebranding your regular suspects? No, because these people aren't our old suspects. They weren't land. They weren't selling land. Remember, they just staged this corporate coup, and we wanted to prove that the corporate coup was just staged by them. That was the purpose of them. Remember. So no, they don't sell land. Oh, excuse me. No, they don't sell land. Okay. So they probably won't be in this. They won't be in this at all. Okay. Because they don't sell land. The happy companion, I'm not going to call him big pimping anymore. The happy companion, he may pop up because he has some difficulty with with his land transaction and some other people. It was wild what I was seeing. So no, this is all new people. These are real companies, you guys. Real companies. Yes, the Gambian election results. Uh, I'm sorry, but I'm trying not to catch cold. The Gambia election results. Well, from what I was seeing tonight, President Barrow is still winning. So I don't know yet, but we're going to keep watching and we're going to keep seeing what happens. Let's see. For Black girls, for Black righteous folks at home, I thought you said, that's funny. Okay. So let's see. She's a, yes, she is. And that's sad because people know that. That's why I'm puzzled. I'm truly puzzled as to why people continue to do land deals with her and then come back and complain. It's like, well, what you want us to do? You saw the videos like we saw the videos. You heard the stories like we heard the stories. But you thought what? She was going to treat you better than she treated all of us? So that's what I don't understand. I don't understand. I really don't. That situation has me totally puzzled. Totally puzzled. Yes, she's an unprofessional person who lies and lies and deceives people. She can't own her own her own mistakes and lies to me. Oh my God. You got it. You got it. I was sitting there like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And I was like, wait a minute. Why are people asking me, is this woman a land scammer? People know what this woman is. You know what she is. All you got to do is watch a series of the videos. Just watch a series of them. You'll know what she is. If you don't know now, you will know after you watch them videos. Because I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. And then how dare you go to the government of this country? How dare you go to the government and ask them for automatic citizenship? Ask them to change their constitution for you. Just think about that. Do you think she would have done that in the United States? Do you think she would have went to our Congress? First of all, do you think our Congress would have gave her an audience? Second, if she did get this audience, do you think she would have the nerve to go and demand that our government change the Constitution to automatic citizenship? Think of the arrogance of that. The arrogance. And then no DNA test to say, I'm from here, to show the government. None of that. First, it was a husband. And then what was it? She said her grandmother told her she was from there. And then something else. But nothing to say I have documentation. No documentation to say this is where my DNA says I'm from. I have documentation that says I'm from Nigeria. Documentation that says I'm from Cameroon. Documentation that says I'm from Mali. Documentation. Can't nobody on the face of this earth tell me I'm not from them places. Nobody. Because I know I am. And I got documents to prove it. Documents to prove it. But she has nothing. She can't even produce a document. But you want these people to change their whole constitution for you? I was blown away. I was blown away. Afro Damas has a really great video about this. Yeah, I was watching that like I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I was embarrassed. And I'm not even from the UK or wherever she's from. I was embarrassed. You think she'd go to the UK? Do you think they would give her an audience there to ask for automatic anything? But it's the poor Gambia. People don't respect her. See, that's the whole thing about the Gambia, you guys. People don't respect her. That's what it comes down to. People don't respect her. But you know what? They need to. Because you know what? The Gambia got friends in big places. And guess who one of their friends are? Guess. Does anybody want to guess? Okay, I'm going to give you a few minutes. Does anybody want to guess who's one of the Gambia's friends who got their back? So you better not mess with them. So all those people over there doing all that foolishness in the Gambia, all them U.S. citizens over there doing all that foolishness, them people we was talking about before, if enough people make enough noise about those people, don't think nothing will happen to those people. Don't think that. Don't think that for 1 second. The only reason nothing has happened is because people haven't made enough noise. Okay? You got to make enough noise, like that video I showed you guys about the land scamming. The United States, the government doesn't move like that. They don't just move like that. They too big, they too heavy. You got to go to them and keep bugging them and bugging them and bugging them and whispering in their ear. And then they'll listen and be like, oh, for real? That's going on? So what do you think who was one of their buddies? I'm still waiting for an answer. Okay, let's see. Okay, yes, and the only one has been, yes. Okay, right. Only one has been announced. So we're just still waiting, you guys. Okay. Who announces the winner? You guys, come on. You know how news people get excited and just do stuff they want to do. They've done that here before. They've done that in the United States. Ask the winner before the count was in. Where the votes was all in. How do you know there's a winner? With Al Gore. Remember that? And they announced it that Bush Jr. had won. How do you know? Florida just quit counting and said, oh, he won. But how do you know? Because your brother was the governor? Is that how you know? Your brother was the governor of that state? So she told one of her interviewers to turn his music down. He was listening to, no, she didn't. He was listening to the Quran. When I called her out on that, she took it down, edited it, and put it back. Oh my goodness. But yet she knows, see, she doesn't know the culture there. She doesn't care about the culture there. If she cared about the culture there, she wouldn't go there and ask for automatic citizenship. Why do you think you should get automatic? That's what I don't understand, these people over there. Why should you get automatic citizenship and everybody else got to wait? I don't understand that. I think I got my camera up too high tonight. Well, my phone. I don't understand that. I don't understand why people think they should go to the Gambia and just jump to the front of the line. That's like Nigerians coming here saying, well, our people is here. Most of the Black people here in the United States come from Nigeria. They come from Nigeria. We should get automatic citizenship because our people is here. These are our cousins, and you need to give us automatic citizenship. What you think the U.S. government gonna say to them? For one, they're gonna throw them out of that. They're gonna throw them out of the United States. They're gonna arrest them. They're gonna put them in prison and call them political prisoners, and then they're gonna deport them back to where they came from. That's what they're gonna do. They're not gonna even entertain them. They're gonna call that treason or whatever. They're gonna make up something and call that. But you out of here for that. You out of here. That's why they don't come here and do that. But the Gambia, for some reason, they feel like they can disrespect that country. But like I said, you can't disrespect the Gambia because Gambia got friends in big places. And one of their best friends is the United States of America. Yeah. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that? Wait a minute. My glasses back on. Don't get sidetracked. Stick to the subject. Oh, this is the subject. Where am I getting sidetracked at? Tell me, Mr. Foreman. Since you're the foreman and you keep everything regulated, tell me, Mr. Regulator, where am I getting sidetracked? Let me know. Because sometimes I do get sidetracked and start talking about other stuff. So, one of their best friends is the United States of America. Did you guys know that? Did you know that? Did you know that the United States of America, let me read this. I want to make sure you guys know this. The United States government is firmly committed to its relationship with the Gambia and supports the government of the Gambia as the country strengthens democratic institutions and focuses on economic growth. And that's on the U.S. Embassy's, Gambia's U.S. Embassy's website. Did you guys know that? Now, for those who don't know the magnitude of what that means, let me break that down for you. This is a country in West Africa. United States don't usually deal with West Africa. For what? They don't need West Africa for nothing. They got what they wanted from there, that labor force. Now they don't even want that labor force. So they don't go to West Africa for nothing. Only one they try to be cool with is Nigeria, and Nigeria don't want to be their friend. Poor thing. They keep asking Nigeria to be their friend. Nigeria keeps saying no. Nigeria has no interest on being friends with them. None. Okay? They are cool with each other, cordial with each other, business, professional, but friends, no, they're not that. They're not that. They have, let's say, I wouldn't even say mutual respect. They don't mess with each other like that. They just don't. So, and you got to remember, Nigeria is the richest country in Africa. Okay? According to some of these statistics, Gambia is the poorest country in Africa. But we're saying to the poorest country in Africa that we are firmly committed to our relationship with you. That's saying, oh, hey, we homies, we ride or die. I got your back. That's what they're saying to them. We got your back. Nobody's going to come and invade you. Nobody's going to come and do anything to you. We're not going to let that go down. And to have the United States of America say that to you and about you and your country, and you're a West African country, come on, y'all. Do y'all know what that means? Do y'all know what that means? You don't know what that means. You don't know what that means unless you know how the United States truly feels about West Africa. Because if you knew how they truly felt, this is truly an accomplishment. This is truly an accomplishment for them to have this country's back like this. And this is a country that most people turn their back on. They say there's nothing there. When I would ask other Africans about the Gambia, tell them I want to go visit the Gambia, tell me about the Gambia, they would always say, for what? What do you want to go there for? There's nothing in the Gambia. But I wanted to go because I wanted to go to French West Africa, okay? But I needed to go to a place that spoke English, and the Gambia spoke English. But the United States doesn't look at the Gambia like that. No, they don't. They value that relationship. So, does anybody got any questions so far before I go in and talk about this relationship a little bit more and tell you the extent? Because this is not a new relationship. This relationship has been around for a while. You all talked about the election. I'm here. Oh, okay, I know. Yeah, but I had to acknowledge when he said that though. But I wasn't going to talk about it long because we don't know about it. We'll just be speculating. We're not going to speculate like that. I don't like to do that. No, this is a little piss poor country, has no oil but guess what else? Uncle Jim doesn't want you. Guess what else they got that we want? Guess what we don't have in West Africa, but we want so desperately? Because that'll be a jump off point to the Middle East. That'll be a jump off point to East Africa. That'll be a jump off point to Central Africa. When stuff started jumping off and people start acting up, we can get there and regulate real quick. So why else you think they would want to be best chums, best friends with him? Because we want something. We're not just going to be your friend for nothing. We want something from you. Okay. Mr. Williams says, blacks it in her type of fake, I know, Pan-Africanists with that. Yes, they do. Oh my. You know what? Beautiful, give me a water. You know what? You just described what I saw in the Gambia from all these so-called Pan-Africanists, okay? They had no respect for the culture, okay? None. They dressed, you should see how the women dressed. They wore, I can't even, it was so disrespectful. Y'all see what they wear. Y'all watch the videos. But these are Pan-Africanists, remember? These are people who love Africa. But you don't even respect the culture in Africa. You won't even wear the right kind of clothes in Africa because you're from America and you can wear what you want to wear because you're an American. But you a Pan-Africanist and you love Africa. But like Mr. Williams said, but you don't even respect Islam. You're in a Muslim country and it's just so haram for women to just walk around just any kind of way. Just any kind of way. But they don't care. They don't care. They do not care. It's haram for women to drink in public. They'll drink in public. They don't care. Shoot, they could care less. Drink in public, do whatever in public, because I'm an American and I do what I want to do. That's what they say. That's what they say. Disrespecting, but they're Pan-Africanists and they love Africa. Yeah, okay. Uncle Jam. Yeah, they love Africa. Now the pushing Taft City. See, something like that. Black Americans bypass Black City, period. But see, yes. But make me understand what you're saying. Are you saying now she's pushing Taft City, okay? She's pushing Taft City, but I wonder if she like an agent for Taft City. Because you know the agents are like, I compare them to the real estate agents here. You know how we have real estate agents, and if they sell this house or this land, they get so much of it. So is she an agent for Taft? Because I can't understand why Mr. Njai, who seems like a very professional man, I can understand why he would be bothered with someone like that. I gotta check my lipstick. You know I gotta check it. Sorry. But I don't understand that. I don't understand how somebody with the man seems very, very, very professional, very honest, very upright, very sincere. And then you see him with this lady who's on here talking about everybody and anybody, performing like somebody just has no class, no style, no education, no nothing, no nothing, no nothing. An instigator, instigate everything. Everything that's messy in the Gambia, you can trace it back to that lady. And that's sad, y'all. That's sad. So explain to me when you say now she's pushing Taft, something like Black Americans can bypass Black period. Because see, to me, that was kind of a good thing. That Black Americans don't have to buy the land. They don't have to go to these YouTube people. They can go to these real estate people in the Gambia. But from doing my research on this, you can't even trust them. When I tell you you can't trust them, the only name I didn't see on there, the only name I didn't see a story about was Mr. Taft. Only thing about Mr. Taft's name was respect. Those other I'm not going to tell you, we're not going to use the names of these people. I'm going to change the names of the company, okay? Because this type of information can destroy somebody's business. And that's not my aim here, is to destroy people's business. My aim is to inform us, to keep us informed. So I want you guys to know, you can't even trust those real estate people over there. Just because they're a licensed real estate company, that doesn't mean you can trust them. No. They're land scammers too. So are you saying, explain what you mean by that to me, okay? Because they are going to bypass her, but she has to be getting something out of the deal, because why would she be promoting us to go directly to a real estate company instead of her? No man pimping me, so I'll bypass Africa. Yeah. You have to have a heart for Africa. You just have to, because it's a lot of stuff you got to deal with there. It just is. And you got to be in the mindset that, okay, I'm aware of this, but this isn't going to stop me. I'm just going to look out for this, and I'm going to, keep informing myself and stay on top of my game, but you got to have a heart for it, because I'm telling you, if you don't have a heart for it, it's going to turn you against Africa. And even if you got a heart for it, it's still to turn you against it, because we go there with a pure heart. Well, I'm not going to say all of us. Most of us go there with a sincere and pure heart, and only to have that sincere, pure heart ripped apart, torn apart, and exploited. Because that's what happens to us. That's what happens. It happens to you so much that you just be like, I'm ready to go. I can't take it anymore. I'm just out of here. I'm just out of here. That's what happens to you, because you get tired. You get tired of the scam. You get tired of the flim flam. You get tired of all of that. You just get tired of it, and you just be ready to go. At least that's what happens to me. It wears you down mentally, along with the heat, along with the roads being tore up, taking you forever to get from point A to point B, along with that, along with not being able to get the foods that you're used to eating, because sometimes you just want to taste some food from home. And the fact that you can't even go get like a salad, you would believe how hard it is to get a salad in Africa. Because sometimes you just don't want to eat rice and meat. You want fresh vegetables, like salad. That's really difficult sometimes to get. And you just get tired of all that. And you just be like, okay, I need to go home. At least that's what happens to me. I need to go home. I need to recharge, and I can go back for more. I hate to describe it like that, y'all, but that's how I describe it. Because it does. It wears you down. Mr. Taft already said ignore all the blacks that BS and come directly to him. Okay, good. Thank you. Because I couldn't understand that. It's because she is just, this lady is unbelievable. I couldn't believe what I was watching. And I'm like, and people do business with her? People go there and do business with her? For what? Why would you do that? Sure, on social media, performance and artists look honest. Yep, they do. Honest, but is he really off social media? Okay, it's who off social media? It's who off social media? Who are you talking about there? Okay, let's see. She actually says she wants a 2-house in Taft City, one for her son and for her daughter. No articles, but don't lie and deceive people to get it. See, maybe that's what she's doing. So, because when you're an agent for these people, you make money. Maybe that was the deal. I'll sell so many houses, and then you give me, a free house. Yeah. Okay. She actually says she wants 2 houses in Taft City, one for her son and one for her daughter. No problem. Just don't scam to get it. Exactly. Just say that's what I'm doing. Help me get this house for my son and my daughter. Blacksit is dishonest. That's what I mean. Anything she promotes, bypass. See, right. That's sad. That's really sad. Hello, Evolving G. Ever evolving G. Hello, how you doing? Yeah, that's really sad though. That's your reputation. What's even sadder though is that people continue to do business with this woman. That's what's even sadder. That's what's crazy. That's what's crazy. So why do you continue to do business with somebody who you know has this type of reputation? Any woman that beats her husband, yes, I'm good on. Now, how do you guys know she beat her husband? She beat her husband is a big old man. Now, if she beating her husband, that's because he letting her beat him, because that man is big. Taft guy, he is truly, yes, he is truly honest, and he's off social media. Exactly. So the Taft man is, I think the Taft guy is honest. Okay. So let's go back to, we have any more questions before we go back to this policy? No. Let's see. Because I live there. Okay. So let's go. U.S. and Gambia relations. This is what we're going to talk about. We're going to go see how long this relationship has been going on. Okay. This friendship is going, it's been quite some time. So did you guys know this? During World War II, Gambian troops fought with the Allies in Burma. Did you know that? Did you know they fought with us in World War II? Did you know that the Gambia's capital city served as an air stop for the U.S. Army Air Corps? I'm sorry. Did you know that? No, bet you didn't know that. Banjul also served as a port of call for Allied naval convoys. Did you know that? No, it didn't. The Gambia became independent from the United Kingdom in 1965. We all knew that. And in January 2017, Amadou Barrow was sworn in as the president. Does anybody have any questions about that so far? Now, all those, that relationship or friendship right there can tell you right there the importance of that relationship with the Gambia. That relationship with the Gambia is important strategically, militarily, if that's a word. That's a strategic military location, okay? Because think about where the Gambia is located. You can get to anywhere real quick, real quick. Coming from the United States, you got to fly all over that water. Take you a minute to get there. But when you're in the Gambia, it won't take you long to get nowhere. Won't take you long to get anywhere. So you need a friend like the Gambia who has really access to two major waterways, the ocean and the River Gambia. Who wouldn't want to be friends with that country? Who wouldn't want to be friends with that country? Especially if you really don't have no friends in West Africa. Especially if you know people in West Africa really don't mess with you like that. But, you know, the Gambia is nice and sweet. They're non-judgmental people. So they mess with you like that. And that's good though. That's good. That's good for us. And it's good for the Gambia. This is a relationship that is beneficial for both sides. That's what the research is showing me so far. Okay. We're going to get to how this plays into this land scamming because it plays into it. Yes, I knew the airport was involved. He says, yes, I knew the airport was involved in World War II. Yep. So we've been friends with them that long. No more business in the Gambia. I will never do. Okay. Okay, let's see. China will own it soon enough. And that's really sad. I don't even want to talk about that. That I do not want to talk about. That's just stuff. The airport you meant, that airport you mentioned. Yeah. Jammeh handed some people over to the U.S. in the war on terror that got tortured and sent to Guantanamo Bay. Interesting that you mentioned Mr. Yahya Jammeh. That's really interesting because that's who we're going to talk about next. Because Yahya Jammeh, we were really friends with them when this was going on. You know, when Yahya Jammeh was president and he was doing all of what he was doing in the Gambia, we were remaining friends with him. It wasn't until pressure was put onto the media put pressure on Barack, continually asking him, how can you be friends with a dictator who violates human rights? But we're getting ahead of ourselves. So let's go back and talk about Yahya Jammeh. So Yahya Jammeh took over in 1994. It was a military coup. We know that. And even after the military coup, United States still strongly supported the government in the Gambia. They never took away that stance, okay? They never took away that stance, okay? That's why when things got heated and Yahya Jammeh had to get out of office and he was refusing to go, that's why you saw the international community put all that pressure on him to get him out. Because what could the Gambia do by itself? Nothing. And he knew that. But he knew he could not go heads up with the international community, which included the United States. Okay? He knew that. He knew who the allies were. He knew who had Gambia's back. He knew at the end of the day who was going to come for him. And he didn't want that. He did not want that smoke. He did not. Because he knew what the United States had done. Like you said, he knew what we were known for. So he didn't want that. So that's why he left. After some time, but he did end up leaving. Okay. So, but that cost the Gambia, and that's the problem with his leadership cost the Gambia money. Because people, you know how the international community is when they put pressure on the United States. They want you to do something. They want you to do something. So what do? We cut money. That's what we do. We cut money. So the Gambia really lost money. They lost money from this man. Not only money, oh my God, they lost lives. They lost a tremendous amount of things, but they lost, for just the sake of this study, they lost money. They lost money from the international community because of this man. So after he was gone, after President Barrow took over, the United States strongly, again, supported the Gambia. They never stopped supporting them, okay? So they really wanted them to strengthen their efforts, to strengthen democracy, to improve government, to implement significant economic reforms, okay? So that's why you see all this open frontier economy. That's why you see that. That's why you see Americans going over there. I haven't got to that part yet. Let me finish. They wanted them to implement significant economic reforms and take accountability for financial crimes, okay? So people who were stealing money, like we all know that Yahya Jammeh was accused of stealing lots of money from the Gambia. They wanted him held accountable for those financial crimes. And they also wanted people held accountable for gross violation of human rights, because during Yahya Jammeh's reign, he was against homosexuality. Because it's an Islamic country, for one, and homosexuality is haram. So it's not only a cultural thing, but it's a religious thing. But what the international community did not support was these people, human rights, their human rights being violated. Even though they were homosexuals, the United States feels like that does not mean you're not a person. That does not mean you do not have rights as a person. and they felt like Yahya Jammeh's administration was violating all their rights as a person because they were homosexual. And that's where the human rights really came into. And then there was a lot of human trafficking also. Okay. The focus was on economic growth. Now, this is what they wanted the Gambia to focus on. Now, look how policy is instrumental. Okay. Look how policy is instrumental. So what is the Gambia focusing on? When you go to the Gambia, what do you see? Building, building, building. Construction, construction, construction. What do you see African Americans over there doing? Companies, companies. Building, building, building. Where do you think American products are going to try to get into? Because this market is sold up. This market is exploited too. It can't be exploited anymore. You know, you got to market way down for us to buy it. But in the Gambia, they love American goods. They love American products. They'll pay top dollar for our stuff. Where do you think they want to open up this new chain? It's an American products to distribute American goods. The Gambia. Exactly. Exactly. So look, this is what it says. The U.S. assistance, they support the Gambia with their democracy, their war against trafficking in persons, they're physically transparent, they practice capacity building, and their electoral reform. And isn't that something? They had an election today. So elections will be fair and just, according to the United States Department of State. Okay? They want them to be fair and human rights. They want them to have education reform, media reform, agricultural expansion. Agricultural expansion. What do we see? Along with American businesses popping up here, there, everywhere. What else do we see Americans doing? What does BAG do? Agricultural expansion. This is all a plan. This is all a plan. This is all strategically planned. While we think we're just doing this because, oh, the Gambia is just a nice place. No. It is a nice place, but this is done by design. You don't think we control the media? You think the media is not controlled in the United States? You don't think so? Or you think it is? You think they control what we hear, what we see? You think they don't, you think it's just natural, it just happenstance that everybody interested in repat tends to go to two places? Tanzania, how do they say it? Tanzania and the Gambia. Some go to Ghana, but you know, they don't talk about Ghana no more like that. No, the hot topic is the Gambia. All that's done by design. By design. Rural development. So where do you see us buying this land? Where is this land that's no good land? I'm not gonna say it's no good, but this land that has to be really developed. Where are we seeing this land? Rural areas, because rural development is part of the plan. Refugee support service and to fight the war against HIV and AIDS. The Peace Corps did maintain, okay, this is on the impact of Yahya Jammeh's reign. We did have a presence of 140 volunteers in the Gambia, and that is a significant number of Peace Corps volunteers in the Gambia. And they worked they were engaged in environment, agriculture, public health, education sectors, and these were all taking place in the village. So they were really there to develop the village areas, okay? But again, during Yahya Jammeh's reign, This impacted the Peace Corps also. We're about to get to that. So does anybody have any questions about this so far? This is something else for the Happy Companion, who was talking about he wanted the military people to come over there and become security and take up arms. Well, listen to this, Happy Companion. The United States also provides limited military training assistance to the Gambia in line with security military reform efforts. So you and anybody else who try to come to the Gambia and take up arms in the Gambia, no, that's not going down. That's not going down. I don't even know if that video is still up. If that video is still up, I'm surprised that video is still up, because that will not happen. That will, whoever will even think about that will be crushed. Will be crushed. Anybody who's going to come against this plan will be crushed. Will be crushed. They will. They'll be silenced. They'll be crushed. Okay? That's just the way it goes. This is a plan, and they're working their plan. This is a mutually beneficial economic, political plan, and it is working. That's why I love the government. I love to study the government. It is fascinating what they do. It is fascinating. So this is called bilateral economic relations. Okay, before we move to that, let's go see if anybody has any questions so far. She's selling hundreds of plots of land in the village farming areas. No roads, no water. That's why. Rural development is part of it. But we don't know that. Tell us that. Tell us that. Say, hey, Kiki, I got this land over here, but it's in the village. But look, you could be a part of the government's initiative to rebuild, to build up the villages. You could be a part of that. The only drawback is you're not going to have access to roads like that. It's going to be difficult for you to get from point A to point B, but you will have to experience the village life. You will get a chance to experience the true culture of the Gambia. And, you and your neighbors can get together and, really be instrumental in that community and build a road. Present it to Americans like that. And some Americans would gladly take that opportunity to invest in that land. Gladly be willing to do that. But people like me, no, I'm not doing that. That's too much work. I'm not doing that. But there's people who will do that. And that's the point. There's people who will do that. So be fair and be honest and let those people know. Give those people that opportunity. And that's the thing people aren't, because it's all about the scam. I'm telling you, it is all about the scam. It's all about the money. It's all about what I can get. I don't care about you. I don't care about your dream. I don't care about your ancestors. I don't care that we Black. I don't care about none of that. Because like I said, they're doing this to each other. This is being done to Gambian, friend to friend. People are being scammed by their childhood friends. One story I listened to, this man was scammed by his childhood friend. This is serious. But let's go continue with the background. So let's go back to this bilateral economic relations. Does anybody have any questions about what we were talking about? How this picture, now you guys should be seeing this picture being painted, okay? Because the picture being painted is, we want a place where economic opportunity can grow. We want a place with a frontier economy. We want a place where people can go, invest, build, do what they want to without all these regulations. That's what we want. So a place without all these regulations, what kind of place is that going to be? That's going to create a place, an environment where scammers and exploiters will thrive, will grow and thrive. That's not the intent, that's not the aim, but that's just what happens. That's just what happens in frontier economy. It attracts those type of people. So as you can see from foreign policy, from what we're looking at, this is foreign policy, people. This is Gambia is being created. This is a bilateral economic relationship. Okay? This is what's going on. This land scamming is a casualty of it. Those people, you are a casualty of this. It wasn't the aim, it wasn't the intent, but the scammers will come. That's why when you invest in a frontier economy, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. So let's finish with this. If we got any questions, let me go back and see if we got questions real quick. No, we don't so far. So the Gambia's eligibility for preferential trade benefits. This is something else that they get. They get preferential trade benefits under what they call the African Growth and Opportunity Act. Okay. That, under Yahya Jammeh, they lost that. Okay. Now just think, this benefit you were getting for trade, you were getting preferential treatment. Okay. Which meant you probably didn't pay taxes, or you probably got the stuff cheaper. You was getting something for this deal with the United States, okay? So just think, they lost that because of Yahya Jammeh. That was over. That was lost. That didn't get back reinstated until 2017. I think it was 2017. Yeah, it was 2017 that it got back reinstated. But that program was officially lost. So just think, you're going to lose that benefit of trade. So that's going to cause an economic impact on that country. When that economic impact happens and that money shrinks up, and that wherever that trade was going, what do you think is going to happen then? That's going to also create scammers, because now that trade I was doing, I can't get that product anymore because we've been kicked out because Yahya Jammeh was creating human rights violations. So we got kicked out of that. So we can't get that benefit now. So now what I'm going to do? What can I do now? I got to come up with something else. Let me start selling some land. Let me start scamming. Let me start pretending like I'm an agent, and I'm not an agent, but I'm going to make these people think I'm an agent. Let me do whatever I got to do to make it, because funds are starting to dry up. Okay? Now remember, this is all going on pre-COVID. Remember, COVID hits in 2020. Again, that's going to dry up even more money. Even more money was dried up. It's drying up from COVID. Okay? Then after being selected for the Millennium Challenge Corporation to develop a threshold program in 2017, that program was suspended also. Okay? It was paused in 2019. In 2019, the Gambia was downgraded to a Tier 2 on the annual U.S. Trafficking in Persons report. Okay? But look, what else they reported in 2019? Several U.S. citizens have set up small businesses in the Gambia. Several U.S. brand companies such as Western Union, MoneyGram, UPS, FedEx, and other companies are represented in the Gambia. Okay? So you see what's going on now? The Gambia has a membership in the Gambia's membership in international organizations. So you all know that the Gambia is a member of the Economic Community of West African States. You also know it is also a member of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. But also the Gambia rejoined the British Commonwealth in 2018. So do we got any questions so far about what this means? Do you understand what this means? This means when these fundings from international sources dry up, what happens that you don't have any money to put in whatever that money was going to. Say you were getting discounts on rice, okay? Say you were getting discounts on rice. So you're not getting that discount on rice anymore. So guess what? The availability of that rice is going to shrink. You're not going to have as much rice as you used to have because you're not getting that trade discount. So guess what is going to happen to the rice there? It's going to go up. The price is going to go up. Inflation is going to hit. So then what are you going to do? What will you do when you don't have a job to buy this rice? You're going to create some money. You got to create a job. You're going to do what you got to do to get money to survive. So that's what happens when these monies dry up. So now that was in 2019, started in 2017. Okay. Negro Pan done an expose on her dealings with the UK-based romance scamming old people out of retirement money for bungalows. Oh, I haven't got to that video. Okay, I'm gonna go through his channel tonight, and I'm gonna look for it. Oh, see what I mean? But that's what the postal video I posted. That's what that video was about. That's what they were saying in that video. That is what they do. That is what they do. They sell these people this crazy dream about this land, and they take their retirement money to purchase this land. Man, and only for the land to be something they can't use, they can't sell, they can't build on, they can't do anything with. No good land. But like I'm saying, some people, if this is the case, give people an opportunity. Some people would want to buy that. If it's far away and it's out, where did you say it was? Let me see. Was it far away or was it just no good land they couldn't even build on? Yeah, bungalow. Okay, I'm gonna look at that tonight. When we finish, I'm gonna look at that one. UK-based romance. Yeah, I'm gonna look at that tonight because it's just I don't understand. But what I understand is that there's greed going on and that there's money involved. That's what I understand. And just from my dealings and my jobs, I know when money is involved, people lose their minds. So let's look at 2021, the investment climate, okay? So in 2021, the Gambia known as the Smiling Coast, this is a report to the government. The Gambia known as the Smiling Coast of Africa, we all know that, has roughly 2 million people. So you think they're not paying attention and they writing reports? You think they're not knowing what's going on and they writing reports? These people are foolish. People who over there in this country acting a straight fool, scamming people, running GoFundMe's and running Cash App me's and not doing nothing with that money, but just supporting their personal life with that money. You people are playing a dangerous game because as soon as enough people complain about you, you are out of there. You are out of there. And not only are you out of there, they'll probably prosecute you for going over there doing things like that, making them look bad. You are playing with the wrong people, people. The U.S. government is nobody to play with, and the Gambia is their friend. The Gambia is their friend. The only reason they haven't come down yet on repats These American repats in the Gambia acting a fool is because American citizens have not complained about them yet. That's why. Soon as they start complaining, just like that video, as soon as they get enough complaints, then they're going to do something. Then they're going to do something. Watch what I tell you. They're going to pull their taxes. That's the first thing they're going to do. Contact the IRS. That's the very first thing they're going to do. And then the ball's going to go downhill from there. So 2021 investment climate, okay? The Gambia has 2 million people. And look at this. The Gambia has an active private sector. That's what they want. Did we read in 1994? That's what they wanted. That was the plan. That was the plan. You see that? 2021, what did the report say? They have an active private sector. The government supports and encourages foreign direct investment. So if you have all these regulations, if you have A regulation, B regulation, C regulation, and D regulation, you're not going to get people investing in your country like that. You're not going to get foreign investment like that. Well, when you have a frontier economy, you will. When you have an open economy, you will. When you have an economy that supports and encourages foreign direct investments. You know what direct investment means? That means small businesses. That means me going there directly investing in the Gambia, having my business there in the Gambia. That's what that means. This is what we see happening, people. This is done by design. This is what policy does. Policy shapes and creates your life. Whether you believe it or not, it does. But I'm showing you right here, this Gambia idea, it wasn't your ideal. It was the government's ideal. They put it in your brain. They put it in your brain. They kept showing you, oh, type in repat. Whoa, the Gambia. Where's the Gambia? Oh, this is going on. And who do they show us? Rick and Miss Cynthia. Oh, we can all relate to them. Yeah. Yeah. It's all done by design, people. All done by design. Google and YouTube. Google owns YouTube. You Google Repat Movement. You Google the Gambia. It's gonna show up on. It's gonna show up on YouTube. They're gonna start showing you repat videos. That's how it works. Nothing just happens. Nothing. Okay. It promotes exports. The government provides guidelines and incentives for investors whose profiles qualify for special investment certificates. So listen to this. If you invest in these certain areas, you get what is called an investment certificate, a special investment certificate. Okay. Now let's look at these areas I'm naming and tell me if you don't see economic growth in these areas, if you don't see repats doing this, if you don't see Gambians starting these type of businesses. Okay. Gambia economy relies primarily on agriculture and tourism. Okay. Gambia has a growing service sector. Service sector, restaurants, retail, tourism, tour companies. Who's doing all that? Seamstress shops, schools. That's what we're over there doing. That's what Gambians are doing. These are the businesses. These are the areas that are growing over there. And this is done by design because this is where the policy is focusing their attention. Okay? This is where the policy is focusing their attention. However, the economy is heavily dependent on agriculture. Gambians and this is what the United States research is saying. The Gambians have opened shops aiming to exclusively sell American products. Now, why do you think the American government wants to know that? Tell me why. Do you know why? Do you know why they want to know that? Why they think that's important? That's important because that gives us a market. That opens up another market for us to sell our goods. They have so many ways. They have direct access to the ocean. Not only that, they have the River Gambia. We could sell our goods all up the River Gambia. Yeah, that's the goal. A new place for Americans to sell their goods. A new place for economic growth, American economic growth. But also the Gambians are benefiting. That's why it's called a bilateral economic relationship, because we both are getting what we want. The Gambians are getting businesses, Americans are getting another market to sell our goods. And that's what we want, another market to sell our goods. It's all about the money, people. So anybody who's coming against this money or coming against this plan, these scamming people like this Blackset lady, all she's done is brought a lot of attention to herself. All these crazy boy repat people, these repats we just done, all they've done is brought attention to themselves. And it's not the right attention. Because if they're paying attention and they know that Americans have set businesses over there, you think they don't know what you're doing? You think they don't know? You don't think they know who's Googling what? You think they don't know what's going on in their friend's country on top of that? In their country they're helping develop? In a country they're steering their people to? Because we haven't got to the speech yet. You think they don't know? You think they're not watching closely to see what's going on there? Don't be foolish, people. Don't be foolish. Don't be foolish. That's why you should study the government and study history so you know what's going on in your world. Oh, wait a minute. Where are the comments at? What if we stop? Do we got a new comment? No, that's the same old comment. Okay, any comments yet? No? Okay. No comments. So now we're going to talk about, now that brings us to the land scams. So that's what I found out. That's what the literature review brought. The literature review told me, even though I looked for scamming, guess what? That was hard to find. I had to look and look and look. I found stories about the scamming, but I was looking for information on official web pages like the State Department. I was looking for stuff like on the FBI pages. I was looking for official notifications to American citizens that land scamming was truly going on in the Gambia. And that took me a long time to find. It is not on the U.S. Embassy's page in the Gambia. It is not on the Department of State, U.S. Department of State. It's not on there. They don't mention it there. They don't mention it anywhere. And that's what threw me for a loop. I was like, wait a minute. This land scamming is going on. I know it's going on. I know it's a problem. But why aren't we being warned about it? So I had to ask myself, something is going on. They don't want this. They don't want anything to discourage us from going to the Gambia. They don't want us to get discouraged with investing in the Gambia, because they would slap, that was Nigeria, they would slap it on Nigeria's profile real quick. No questions asked. Even on their the Gambia CIA fact book, World Fact Book, there's nothing about it on there. Nothing. But let it be Nigeria. Whew. Honey, they put it on there so fast it'd make your head spin. It would make your head spin how fast they would put it on there. It's probably already on there. Poor Nigeria. God bless Nigeria. Don't nobody like poor Nigeria. But anyway, so that made me question, why is it so hard to find something out about this land scamming? Because it puts a negative light on the repat movement. That's why. So I said, okay, hold on. I'm talking to my spidey senses. And I'm like, okay, so this repat movement must be bigger than what I think. It's got to be bigger than us. Us Black folks just deciding to go to the Gambia. We must be programmed to go to the Gambia. There must be propaganda. The U.S. is real big on propaganda. Did you guys know that? They're really big on that. So, let's see. Then I stumbled across the speech. And the speech started off with, doing business in the Gambia. The Gambia has liberalized and open economies. They create growth and enormous opportunities for American companies to find markets for their products and their investments. Now, who y'all think made that? Whose words were those about the Gambia in 2012? Yeah, that's how long ago this plan was put into motion, because we've been just going along with it like a train, just doing what they said. The Gambia, Gambia. Yeah. Who y'all think said this? Who y'all think started this U.S. propaganda to sell us the repat movement in the Gambia that we bought? And there was nothing wrong with it, though. The Gambia is a nice, safe place. I mean, it was nothing wrong with it. But I just want to show you how policy works. I want to show you how policy shapes and forms your life. So who do you guys think said this? Who made this speech? And who said those nice, wonderful things about the Gambia? Nobody wants to say. Okay. Hillary Clinton. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know she went to Senegal? Yeah. She went to Senegal. And while she was in Senegal, she took the chance. Not the chance. She took the opportunity to make a speech selling us the Gambia. So let me go on. According to the former Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton, in 2012, during her trip to Senegal, if you want to make a good investment in a difficult economy, go to Africa. Now, set that. Think about that 1 second. You guys don't know how big this is. You don't know how big this is. You don't realize how huge this is. Because when Hillary Clinton speaks, people listen, okay? Policy is changed, okay? Plans are made, okay? Okay, this woman was the Secretary of State, okay? They handle all our foreign policies, everything. Everything. That's why I'm telling you, policy shapes and creates your life. That's why I love foreign policy, all policies, really. Okay, so she made this speech in 2012. She said a difficult economy, go to Africa. The difficult economy was the United States. because it's hard to get into this economy, especially when you're a new business, when you're a small business, when you don't have much money, when you're a retail store. Like I used to have an online store. My online store, it was hard for me to compete with other online stores. I sold plus size clothing for women. This clothing, was affordable for plus size women because a lot of times plus size women can't find affordable clothing. So who do you think I had to compete with? Lane Bryant. I can't compete with companies like Lane Bryant. I can't compete with the major brands because they have more money than I do. Then there were all kind of little new shops popping up online. I didn't have their money. So they would just shut me down. So that appeals this frontier economy where I can take my store, I can take my inventory that I still have, and I can go to the Gambia and I can open up a store in the Gambia and I can sell American clothes in the Gambia. And there's a demand for my product in the Gambia, and I don't have all these regulations. I don't have all these big companies that are going to shut me down. I'll be the big company. Think about that, people. Think about that. Why would Hillary Clinton, the Secretary of State, encourage us to do that? Instead of telling us, keep on, don't give up. Why would she encourage us to go to Africa? To go not only to Africa, but the Gambia. Let's finish. The frontier economy. That's what she's talking about. Africa is one of the world's last global frontier economies. She continued. Gambia's tourism sector is an example of this growth. So all you people who are over there complaining about Gambia's tourism sector, if I were you, I would just silence that. I would silence that because nothing's going to come against their tourism sector. Nothing. And if you try to come against their tourism sector, you're going to be the problem. Yeah, you're going to be the problem because that's their moneymaker. And they're not going to let some Americans who don't like what they see, who are not even from there, shut them down or interfere with that. So if you're complaining about their tourism sector, I suggest you zip it or you might start having problems. The tourism sector caters to European clientele primarily. So she's telling you this. They know this. That's where the dollar is. I mean, the Dalasi is. So that's where they go to. The government of the Gambia is working on harnessing the economic power. It's expanding its tourism market. Now, think about that. It's expanding its tourism market. How many of us went to the Gambia this year? How many people went to the Gambia this year? My family and friends in the Gambia, you know what they keep telling me? Americans just keep coming over there, keep coming over there. Black Americans, that's all they see. Black Americans, Black Americans, Black Americans. What is that doing, you guys? It's expanding the tourism market because now it's not only including the Europeans, it's including the African Americans. I don't know about the UK people and all them other people because I ain't researched their policies, so it's not saying them. It's talking. Well, it didn't say. I'm just talking about African Americans because it says it's expanding the tourism market. So the government probably does know about those other groups because it said the tourism is expanding the market. It's extending Gambia's potential to others. So you see what I'm saying? You see exactly what I'm saying? That this is all done by design. to us to get there, this Gambia being promoted to us, when we get there, it's so easy for us to start businesses there. It's so easy for us to get on our feet there. Well, that's if you got skills, it is. It's so easy for us to transfer our skills to the Gambia because that's done by design. They provide, this is still Hillary Clinton talking at her speech, they provide incentives for both local and foreign investors. Now, what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about that? I bet you didn't even know that Hillary Clinton was pushing the Gambia way back in 2012, because I did. I had no clue. But when I read that, I was like, oh, it all makes sense now. Now it makes a lot of sense. Now it makes a lot of sense. Now it makes a lot of sense. But again, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with pushing the Gambia. There's nothing wrong with encouraging us to go to the Gambia. There's nothing wrong with Gambia propaganda to get us to invest in the Gambia. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. There's nothing wrong with that. But again, you need to be aware how policy shapes and determines your life. So here's another policy I want to tell you about. And then we're going to stop because that's 2 hours. I think that's going to be almost 2 hours. Then we'll do, because see, we got to do that. Then we'll go next week. We'll go to some of the companies that I found out about. Okay, but first I wanted to set the stage for you guys, because this is what they do really in a research study. You set the stage. That's what the literature review is. You just tell about the literature, like what's going on. This is the background. This is the history. This is what caused this condition. This is the condition it is now. And then we go from there. Oh, hey, girl. Hey. It's so good to see you. I'm so glad you're on here. Yes, go Gambia, right. Because Gambia is a good place, you guys. It really is a good place, and I want the best for the Gambia. But it's just some bad apples went, and, the good apples just need to go. The good apples just need to go. So, okay, let's finish. Let me tell you about this one. According to the Gambia Investment and Export Proclamation Act of 2010. Did you guys know about that? Did you know that there was an Export Investment and Export Proclamation Act for the Gambia? I didn't. I was excited when I found this. Let me tell you what it says. Let me tell you what it says. The act explained no formal restrictions on private sector investments. Again, no formal restrictions on private sector investment. So you get it? That's why you see so many scammers. When you say there's no formal restrictions on private sector investments, do you know what that means to somebody who's not right? That means, oh boy, I can go over here and I can do whatever I want to do. There's nobody going to stop me. That's what's going on. That's why I say, what if any role is foreign policy playing in it? Because foreign policy, unfortunately, did play a role in this, because when you when you don't have formal restrictions and you increase investments, you're going to have what we have. Opportunities are emerging in agricultural production. Where do we see that? We see bag, right? We see the other people doing that. Processing and packaging. We don't see so many people doing that. Renewable energy. What do we hear about all the time? Solar lights, solar panels, right? Petroleum exportation and distribution networks throughout Banjul. They also want, look at this, remember this, guys, how many people we see do this? Import, export of food stuff and retail. These are all the goals of the policy. These are all the goals. These were all in Hillary Clinton. This is this act. Not only do we have Hillary, Miss Clinton, make the former Secretary of State Clinton making this statement, this speech, then we have this act. So the act was in 2010, okay? That wasn't enough. Then Hillary Clinton made the speech, okay? So they want to import, export retail. They want to import, export food stuff. Where they want to do this with? United States. That's who they want to do this with. Not exclusively with us, but they want us to do this with them, and we want to do it with them. Opportunities are emerging. That's what the goal was, for the opportunities to emerge, okay? Gambians and Americans, Gambians have, and this is what they're saying about the Gambian market, because they've researched it. They said the Gambians have an insatiable thirst for American goods and services. So you know what that means? That means they want to get in there. They want us to sell. They want to sell their goods over there. Because, you know, like I said, when we go to the store, we're not buying that unless you put that on sale. We don't buy stuff at regular price. Okay, Nima says, you have lots of crazy and jealous Americans here, but God is still in charge. See, that's what the front, but see, Nima, that's what we were saying. That's what the frontier economy attracts. It attracts, because these people are jealous because they don't have the skills. They don't have the skill set of that person that they're jealous of. So they're jealous of that. And they're just crazy because this kind of economy will attract crazy people like that. It attracts narcissistic people, really. So it's just the way it is. Because certain people will take chances, okay? Certain personality type take chances. Narcissistic people, they will take chances, okay? So that's why it attracts people like that. So that they know that the American goods can be sold over there, American services, like the school I want to start, an American school over there. It's not going to be like an American, like for Americans, no, but it's going to be on the American system, if that makes sense, okay? It's going to be an American school in the Gambia that teaches Gambian kids the way Americans are taught, okay? That's what it is. Services. That's a service. They want that service there. Okay? Goods and services. Many would buy made in America if given a choice. This is what this act is saying. Okay? So the point is, you guys, they saying that it's in a desire at every level of the government and at every level in society to see more American companies and more Americans in the Gambia. So, do you guys think we all just woke up one day and said, oh, I'm going to the Gambia? No. U.S. propaganda played a big role in this, a humongous role in this, a humongous role in this. My mind is just blown, because that shows how strong the propaganda is. Because I was going to Nigeria. I was going to Nigeria strong, strong, strong. Then I met, of course, I broke up, that relationship ended. And I met John, Fulfillment of Our Soul, Big John. He started telling me about the Gambia. I started watching back. And I'm like, I'm going to the Gambia. I'm going to the Gambia. Every day I would watch back. Every day I start seeing Needima. I start seeing Nima on there. I started watching her. And when I saw her and her daughter, I was like, oh, I got my niece. Me and my niece can go there. Me and my niece can do that. You see what I mean? It's all. That's what you call, I'm not saying Nima's propaganda, but propaganda is messages. You get the same messages over and over and over again. It gets fed to you. And soon you start acting on it. And that's what we have. Because the government, our government, has good relationships and good standing with the Gambia. That's why. When people say, well, now you can say, well, why didn't they go to Nigeria? Because we're not cool with Nigeria like that. I mean, we respect Nigeria, but we're not cool with them like that. That's why we're going to the Gambia, because it's foreign policy. It's done by design. Next time somebody asks you, why are African Americans going to the Gambia like that? Make sure you tell them about this act. Make sure you tell them about Hillary Clinton, and make sure you tell them about the Gambian Investment and Export Proclamation Act of 2010, and tell them that's probably why you're in the Gambia also. Okay, so let's finish, because we got another one to talk about before we get off of here. So the Gambia is looking for markets for American companies, and American companies are looking for shops of markets in West Africa to set up shop. Okay? We are looking for dealers to distribute our goods and our products. What I tell y'all? That's what I'm telling y'all. That's what I'm telling y'all. Wow. You may actually be right, because these people are pretending to be for unity. No, honey, no. But really, they are just for the, yes, they are. Yeah, those Pan-Africans, this people in over there pretending to be Pan-African, they're not Pan-Africanists. I'm sorry. I'm not, that's what I see over there in the Gambia, the people that's calling themselves Pan-Africans. I don't want to be a Pan-African if that's what a Pan-African is. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't have no desire to be that type of Pan-Africanist. I just don't. I'm cool. I'll stay solo. Okay. So then there's this last policy we're going to talk about tonight, because policies are really for a lot of information, and I don't want y'all to get on information overload. Okay, I'm gonna try to finish these tonight. Okay, so we'll do all the policies tonight, and then next time we're gonna talk about these companies, where I'm gonna change the name, because this stuff is just horrible, but I don't want to use the real name of the companies. So now we're gonna talk about Obama's National Export Incentive. This was another strategic policy for the Gambia, and the U.S. will continue to advance these objectives through the promotion of an open environment of trade and investment, improved economic governance, expansion of the Gambia's capacity to access and benefit from global markets, encouraging mutual and beneficial partnerships between the Gambia and the United States. That was Barack Obama's incentive that he put in. Okay, that's the one he created, and that was Obama's National Export Incentive. Okay, so we're gonna keep going because we gotta hurry up. Oh, we haven't been on here 2 hours yet. Okay, so the policies involved, we talked about the Gambia Investment Act, Investment and Export Proclamation Act of 2010. And we also talked about the National Export Act, and National Export Incentive. And we also talked about Hillary Clinton's speech. Remember, all of them played a role. Okay? And all of them were U.S. propaganda, foreign policy that shaped us going to the Gambia. So commercial opportunities. Gambia does not discriminate against U.S. investments, companies, or representatives. American companies must work with, but this is the clue, this is the key, you guys, okay? Under this act, an American company must work with a local lawyer to open a company there and be transparent in their dealings. I wonder how many of them are actually doing that. I'm sure none of them probably are, but this is the rule to the Export Act, okay? So now we're going to talk, any questions about that? Kiki is late. Hold on. Let me put this up here. Kiki is late, but you doing it up. One thing I can say is you have been consistent on YouTube. Consistency is key. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Because I enjoy doing it. I really do. It's like my hobby. I enjoy looking at, and then I learn a lot. I learn a lot. So I like to share the information that I learn. So I really enjoy this. So the Gambia Investment and Export Proclamation Agency. Let me tell you about this agency, because you need to know this agency if you plan on doing business in the Gambia, okay? This agency provides a one-stop shop for investors. They're responsible for attracting foreign direct investment. And look, these are the 8 special sectors I was telling you about that they want you to go into, okay? Now, these sectors provide a number of incentives. So basically, if you open up a business in one of these sectors, you get duty waivers and you get tax-free holidays. Now listen to these sectors and tell me, do they sound familiar? Agriculture. You open up an agriculture where you're growing produce. Say, I'm going to grow stuff. You get duty waivers and you get tax holidays. If you open up forestry, duty waivers, tax holidays. Forestry is like, I'm going to grow trees. I'm going to grow this forest. Skills development. You open up a school. You get duty waivers and tax holidays. Energy. Say you got solar panels, wind, hydro energy. That's tax waivers and duty waivers and tax holidays. If you open fisheries where you sell fish, manufacturing, tourism, minerals, exploration and exploitation of minerals, you get tax breaks. No, what did it say? Duty waivers and tax holidays. Yeah. Don't we see those types of businesses? Some of those, the agriculture, we see that all the time. Tourism, how many people have opened tourism companies? We see that all the time. They don't tell us. We see them working with schools. Well, we see them trying to start schools, trying to start different little skill development centers to teach the Gambians how to do something. Duty waivers and tax holidays. Remember that. That's why you keep seeing the same stuff over and over and over again. No new ideas, because the money's not in the new ideas. The new ideas, I can't get a duty waiver. I can't get a tax incentive. I can't get a tax holiday. Retail, how many of them are opening retail stores? The same thing. They all are doing the same thing because they're following the propaganda. They're following the policy. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. But try to switch it up. Be a little different. Don't copy off each other. Okay. So listen, guess how long it takes you to establish a business in the Gambia? Guess. 2 to 3 days. The Minister of Justice lowered the number of waiting days to a couple of days a year ago in 2020. Yes. Well, He did it also because, you know, he needed people to open up businesses because of COVID. But yeah, 2 to 3 days to open up a business in the Gambia. So, did you guys find that interesting? Yes, that if you open up certain types of businesses, the same businesses we see opening up time and time and time again, you don't, I'm not going to say you don't pay taxes. You get duty waivers and tax holiday. Yes, yes. So let's all do, we're going to talk, this will be, I think this is going to be, yeah, this will be the last thing we talk about tonight, because that's all the policies. Next week, we'll talk about the scamming companies, because we've finished the background. So COVID's economic impact. COVID also played a big role in land scamming, y'all. It just did. Because COVID shut down tourism. The people in tourism could not make money anymore. So what did they have to do? Some of them went into, okay, let me start selling this land. Let me become a land scammer. Let me scam somebody real quick. So let's see. Oh, let me do these questions before we go there. Mr. Williams says, yep, that's me. None of these guys are doing that. Silly. He said none of them are doing that. Duty waivers and tax holidays. Yep. That's what you get when you open a business there. It looks like it only takes, oh, wow, really? She said, Neon said it only looks like it takes only 8 hours. It probably does. Because they need it open. They want it open. They need, COVID just messed this country up really bad. It just really did. Yeah. You know what? That's what I'm going to talk about now. I'm looking at your videos for that, though. I'm going to use you for that one. Your rental scam videos, I sure am. You're going to be my example for that one. But yeah, that's another one. Rental scams. We're going to talk about all of it. The land scamming, the buying house scamming, the rental scamming. It's just whew, it's too much. It's like, who do you trust? Who do you trust? You don't even, the Gambians don't even know who to trust, y'all. That's what's crazy. They don't even know who to trust. They telling me we don't even know who to trust. We can't even trust each other anymore. It's that bad. It's that bad. Girl, I got videos I haven't even posted. So bad. It's so bad. Oh, post them. Because your videos help people for real. Those rental scam videos, all your videos with those rental scam videos, man, that's what really got me thinking. But yeah, I'm going to look at those. Those I looked at, but I'm going to relook at them and take notes and talk about your rental scam and tell people that's something else they got to watch out for, because that was crazy, especially with the no cabinets. I couldn't believe that one. No, you can't. They can't trust each. No, and that's what's so sad. That's what's so sad. You can't trust each other at this point, and that's sad. You cannot trust each other. But that was not the aim of this policy, though, y'all. It wasn't. The aim was to just increase, to help the Gambia make money. Oh, those videos are mild. You need to post the heavy one, the hard-hitting ones then. Yeah, you need to, because this is unbelievable. Because the newspapers do, where I got the information about the companies, the realtor companies that are over there scamming people. That came from the newspapers. The newspapers don't care. They telling on everybody. It's just, oh, yeah, it's bad. It's bad. That's why when I was trying, like for a minute there, I was really just trying to leave everything and go to the Gambia. But I couldn't find a place to live, y'all. They wanted me to pay $800 for a 2-bedroom apartment. I said, why would I pay $800 for a 2-bedroom apartment when in my state, Ohio, I can get a 2-bedroom apartment for $800? I will have roads. I will have running water. I will have 911. I will have police and fire. I will have trash and sewer. I will have emergency rooms. I will have doctors. I will have pharmacies. I will have grocery stores. I will have everything that I need. But I'm supposed to pay $800 to live in the Gambia on a street that's not even a street. It was a road. And I'm looking outside of my window and I saw it's trash. And they want me to pay $800 for that. I got so mad. I just said, forget it. I'm done. I told my family I can't do it. These two, and they were getting discouraged because they were looking for me, right? But look, the scammers are so keen on it. Whenever they would ask for the things I needed air conditioner, I needed running water, and I needed hot water. Whenever they would ask for those things, they knew, they could smell it was American involved. And the price would always be ridiculous. Ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. I just said, forget it. I kept hearing 800. Every place I looked was 800. And then I would see some places that would be 600 on one website. Then on the next website, they would be 800. And I said, I'm not doing this. I said, I will go, take my time, go to the Gambia, and we'll look when I come to visit. And we'll gradually take our time to find a house. But all this land building, no, none of that. It was just ridiculous. And that was another thing that made me suspicious of the land scamming, because I knew these apartments was not worth $800. And I'm like, so they really hiking up the prices like that? Then I called some people from Gambia I knew here. I asked them to recommend somebody. Do y'all know what they said? They said, honey, we can't even recommend nobody because they scamming us too. Now y'all know that's a shame before God. They scamming them too. Dima, you can't. Why can't you post your videos? Right, post them. We want to see them. Post them tonight. We want to watch them all day tomorrow. What does that say? Vortex? I'm not sure. Vortex. I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not sure what you mean. Tell me what you mean. Gambian people are not actually as bad as our people in the States doing craziness. Yeah, no, they're not. They're not. Gambian people are not bad. Like, they have consciences and souls, but some of them don't. But most of them do. Uncle, I have to post eventually, but you don't. Right. You right. She right. She right about that. She's right, because they'll come back on you and they'll get you. And they'll get you on the low. And that's the thing about Africans in Africa. They'll get you on the low. So she's right. You can't do that where you eat. Too much stress. Right. Too much stress. If we actually knew how to stick together, we would be able to ease and get over. They wouldn't be able to get over on us with ease. And she's right. She's right. But we don't stick together. When I was on Quasi's show, and I'm sorry, it ain't a show, it's a channel. And we did an interview. He did an interview. We were talking. And some people were on there saying that we need like a African American council, where the council goes and checks things out for us. The members will go and check things out for us. If we want to buy land, the council member will go and check out that land. If we want to go and buy a house or rent a house, the council will go and check that out to make sure everything is legit, make sure everything is up and up. The council would do that for us. If we got a problem, we would go to the council and the council would speak for us. And that's really, at this point, it's something that we really need something like that. We really need something like that, because at this point, we have no protection, not in this frontier economy. And that's the nature of a frontier economy, though. That's the nature of the beast. But like Nima said, we could come together and we could form some type of council where we work together and we like Nima's there. We talk to Nima, but like Nima doesn't want to get where she's naming people, well, don't do business with this, because they'll come back on you. She is so right about that. She is so right about that. You can't do that. You can't. So let's see. But we got to learn to protect each other. Yes, that's a good, yeah, that's what they said. That's what they were saying, that we need that really bad. And that, that's going to stop all this nonsense going on. Because right now, there's no check and balance. There's nobody to say, you shouldn't do that. Nobody to say, what are you doing? Excuse me. Nobody to say, why are you doing that? Nobody to say, this land really doesn't cost this much. Nobody to say, this land is way out in the village. Do you really want to live in the village? Because if you live in the village, you got to deal with X, Y, and Z. There's nobody to do that. You just buy your land, and then there you go. Yeah, we got to do something. We got to come up with some type of plan. So let's talk about COVID. Excuse me. The COVID impact. This was really sad. It slowed economic activity in the Gambia. Now, let me give you an example of how much it slowed it. The Gambia economy had grew 6.3% in 2019. And that's a lot. That's a significant growth, okay? But by 2020, the economy has shrank by 2%. So that growth, that 6.3%, they lost 2% of that growth. And even though that may sound like, a small percent to us, that's a big percent. That's but for you to gain 6% and you to lose 2%. So now you only got 4% growth. What do you think is going to happen to that 2%? So 4 people got money. 6 people had money. Excuse me. So think, 6 people had money. And then out of those 6 people, 2 of them lost money. Only 4 of them still have money. What do you think those 2 people going to do? What do you think they're going to do? You think they're just going to sit? There's no unemployment there. There's no food stamps. There's no EBT. There's no tech. What do they call it? Temporary assistance to needy families. It's none of that. No Social Security. What do you think they're going to do? They got to do something. And if you don't have any skills, you're going to do some scamming. That's why that's significant. The outlook for the tourist sector in the Gambia, remember, the Gambia makes most of their money from tourism. Remember, we said that. They make their money from tourism. Okay? If that economy is hit hard and shut down, where are they making money? Where? Tell me. Because I don't know. And according to these policies I've been reading, that's where they make their money. They make it in agriculture, but they make their money in tourism. And that's been shut down since 2000. And now we're going into 2022, almost 2 years now. Tourism provided a significant source of foreign exchange. And see, that's the difference. It's not just the lassi they're bringing. Tourism brings dollars. Tourism brings euro. Tourism brings, what does the British people use now? Pounds. I'm sorry. Do the British people use British pounds? I think. Didn't they go back to their old currency? But foreign currency, that you want that in your economy. You want foreign currency, okay? Because that's more money. That's worth a lot more. So you want that. Tourism brings that. They're not getting that now. When I was there and I went to the beach, I was just there in April. Well, I can't, no, it was May. I left in May. Yeah, it was in May. I went for my birthday. You know, tourism, it was empty. It was empty. Not only was it the Ramadan, but there weren't even, I'm sorry, there weren't even any tourists there. There was no tourists there. It was crazy. There was nothing. Nobody on the beach, nobody at the tourist shops. The tourist shops were closed. Closed. Now listen to this. Tourism provided a significant source of foreign exchange. The Gambia receives roughly 18% of its GDP remittance from citizens overseas. Now, this is what's really sad because the Gambia has lost the tourism money. That's not coming in anymore right now. So you know what's keeping Gambia going, y'all? This is sad. The money that Gambian people here are sending back to their families in the Gambia. That's accounting for 18% of the Gambia's GDP right now. Is that money the Gambians send home to help their families? Now, isn't that something? Isn't that something? It says 78, that was a 78% increase in the money. 78%. Gambian, this is how good Gambian people are. Now listen to this. Gambian people in the United States saw that their country people, their family back home was struggling, that there was no tourism going forward. So you know what they did? They sent so much money that it was a 78% increase in the money that the Gambians sent home to help their families during the COVID. Can you believe it? During the pandemic's shutdown. Can you believe that? That's, Nima, what we need to do. We need to do that for each other. Can you imagine if we did that for each other? If we did that, something like that? Oh, they struggling. My family can't have money now. The tourism is shut down. Things are hard. The policies, remember they done lost money from the policies. Remember that. Remember the policies they lost money from. The foreign policies. Remember that. Remember they lost some 2017. They lost some in 2019. Then COVID hit 2020. That's bam, bam, bam. That's money, 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 money. So that's why I say, what if any role did policy, U.S. policy, play in the land scammers growing? And unfortunately, it played a major role. It played a major role because now people can't work. People can't invest in those businesses. People can't buy trade. People can't trade. People can't do what they used to do. So because this frontier economy is here, because these policies are in place where people can come in, open up a business, do what they want, don't have restrictions, don't have guides, don't have it. Pretty much, you can do whatever you want to do. That opens up room for narcissists. That opens up room for people who are evil. That opens up people who are exploiters. That opens up people who are users, who look like us. And that's what we got to understand. We got to understand that all this has been done by design. All of it's done by design. But now that we know about the policies, we know what's going on. We know how this frontier economy is causing people to go over there and become scammers and to do whatever. Now we know to look out for that. And next week, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what they're doing and who are the people who are doing whatever. Oh, I'm sorry. But when it get night, oh, my cough gets worse. Okay, let's look at these comments real quick. Then we're gonna get on off of here. Oh, wait a minute, we didn't see this. Let's go to this. Nima says, let me show it. He says, yep, I can tell you about which Americans, excuse me, aren't living right, but they are so fake now that unfortunately you must watch out for other repacks. Yeah, I could tell when I was doing my research, they all fake. I don't have nothing to do with them. All of them are fake. It's so sad. Come back for I'll be back. Oh, I'll be back, you guys. I'm going back to the Gambia in next year. It'll be in June, late May or June. So this is what I said I was going to do. So if somebody has some land over there, or somebody's thinking about buying land over there, or if somebody who has a house or thinking about buying a house, renting a house, doing whatever over there, if you want me to go and check it out while I'm there, let me know. Okay? Email me at Kiki Loves Nigeria, LUVS Nigeria at gmail.com. Okay? So remember, if you got some land, you're thinking about buying land, you're thinking about buying a house, you're thinking about renting a house, you're thinking about doing any type of business over there, and you want me to check it out while I'm there to make sure it's legit, to make sure the land is on the up and up, hit me up. Let me know. Email me and let me know, and I'll do that for you, okay? Because I think I'm going to start doing that. Because that way, at least I don't have a reason to lie to you. You know I'm not going to lie to you. I don't lie, for one. And why would I do that? I'm just not going to do that. So I can check that out for you because I'm going to be there probably almost 2 months. Y'all know I can only do 60 days, then I'm out. It depends, though. But try. And that's during the rainy season. And that's a good thing, too, because you can tell if the land is going to be mushy or if it's hard to get to. You can tell if the house is going to have leaks. You can tell all of that during the rainy season that you won't be able to tell during the season when it's dry. So let me know if you want me to check it out for you. I would love to do that. Ha ha ha. Americans would never help each other. See, please, no, I can't. Oh, that's bad then. And you know what? What's so sad about that? Yeah, lots of users that look like us. Oh, wow. Because, I remember when my grandmother used to tell me stories when I was little about my great grandmother. And she used to tell me that hobos, she called them hobos, we would call them bums. Now they would call them homeless people. She would say hobos would come over their house, would hop the train. She said they would hop the train, and they lived near like a railroad track. So the hobos would be hungry, okay, because they've been riding the train for I don't know how long, and they would get off the train and they would go to my grandmother's house, my great grandmother's house, and knock on her door. My great grandmother would let them in. She would give them a meal. She would give them a bed to sleep in for the night. And that morning, she would, give them a hot breakfast, and she would send them off with a little food. And the hobo, I asked my grandmother, I said, what? She would do all that? What they give her? My grandmother looked at me. She looked at me at one of them, them grandmother stares. And she said, you got to learn to do stuff for free. You got to learn to do stuff just to help people. And that's what my grandmother would do. My great grandmother and my grandmother, that's what they would do. And that's how we made it to who we are today and where we are today as a people. It's because we helped each other out. When we had each other's back. We fed each other when we were hungry. We gave each other a place to stay when we didn't have no place to sleep. And we didn't talk about each other, and we didn't make fun of each other. We just helped each other. And my grandma told me sometimes the hobos would have money. She said they would give her a little change, or she said they would have like items, like trinkets, or they would give her a trinket. And she said, and sometimes they had nothing at all, and that was fine too. And that's where we got to get to as a people. Because if we was real people, we wouldn't be thinking like this, and we wouldn't be doing this to each other. We just wouldn't. We just wouldn't. This wouldn't be going on. I wouldn't have stacks of notes about scammers in the Gambia, in this country with only an 80-mile shoreline, with this country who the United States took a vested interest in, who wants to help grow, who said, I'm going to encourage my citizens to go there. I'm going to encourage my people to invest money in your country. That's what the United States told them I'll do for you. They'll bring those dollars over there. We got a lot of African Americans who want to go to Africa. We'll just keep on pushing the Gambia. They'll come over there. You sell our products over there. You be our friend. We'll be your friend. We got to get to that point. They got a better relationship. America and the Gambia got a better relationship than the repats in the Gambia do. And the repat community. It's terrible. It's terrible. That's what it is, terrible. You shouldn't come during the rainy season, girl. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't get off work. I know. But that's why I said I'm going to make the best of it and do the research then. Yeah, because I can get out as much as I can, and, research for people. That's why I said I'll do that then. But I can't come before then. I tried. I can't. So it is what it is. Sounds like my grandma. Yeah, grandma's, yeah. Because we was a community back then. We're not a community anymore. Yeah, Julia is a crazy. She's not only crazy, she's disrespectful. She's very disrespectful. No, a Gambian would help you for free. Yep. Not an American repat. Yep. For free. But an American repat, no, they're going to want something from you. Right. Or they going to talk about you. One of the two. Look at you all funny. Now, a Gambian would help you for free, but an American repat, please be very, very careful if they are helping you for free. See? That's really sad. But that's why the scamming is going on, because of attitudes like that and personalities like that. And those attitudes and their personalities, unfortunately, they are rampant in the Gambia. And I'm telling you, it's because of the foreign policy. The foreign policy, how it created this frontier economy, and now people are just taking advantage of it. So look, guys, that's all I have for tonight. We've been on here for 2 hours and 23 minutes. We will get back together next week where we're going to actually talk about, now we're to the point where we're going to talk about the scammers, but we're not going to start with YouTube scammers. No, we're going to back up and start with the scammers, the real estate scammers. Oh my God, the real estate scammers, they're going to blow your mind. Yeah, and it's very sad. Yeah, it's very sad what I've been finding out. So look, everybody, I missed you guys. I'm glad I'm back. I'm glad we did our show. Thank you, Nima. I love you for showing up. That means the world to me to have your support, because you're in the Gambia and you understand that I'm doing this out of my love for Gambia, out of my love for Black people, and out of my love for us as Black women. Yes. So I will see you guys. What did Nima say? Be safe, keep build up your, I know. Because y'all, this COVID is for real. And I work with little kids, man, and I have my mask on, but okay, I'll see you later. I'm just going to, like she said, build up my immune system, because I just can't take no chances. Can't take no chances. All right, I love y'all, and I will see y'all later. I got to get up and turn this camera off. Okay, everybody, I will see y'all next time.